Hello everyone and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. This is Colin and today I'm bringing back yet another one of my campaign playthroughs. Yeah, I'm totally into doing this. I decided that it would be really fun to finish our Arkham Horror Dream Eaters campaign. I've got my decks recreated, but the one thing that I realize is at the end of my last playthrough of this game, I totally failed at doing the Black Cat stuff correctly. I did not write the Black Cat warned the others in the correct side of the campaign log, and so it messed everything up right at the end. This is the only area where it really matters. I missed a couple flavor text spots that I could have read. We'll just move past those. But the big thing to note is that I should have chosen this one instead of this bottom one here. So it says here, if the campaign log of the Web of Dreams has the Black Cat is at its side recorded, which it did, we're actually going to cross that off now and record it on the campaign A, because remember we sent the cat back over to the other side to help them because they're coming into the dream world. So in both campaign chaos bags as well, I'm replacing one of these rock looking tokens to one of the face looking tokens. So I have done that for the rest of our campaign. I'm also going to show you the upgrades that I did. I did the upgrades a year and a half ago, and so I have no idea exactly what I decided to change. So I'm just going to show you the decks on Rings DB, on Arkham DB, and then we'll jump into the playthrough. Here we have Luke Robinson's deck with 23 total XP. Now, technically, we've only earned 19 XP, but remember, we have Arcane Research. We started with 2 of those. So that meant we would suffer 1 mental trauma at the beginning of the game, but then we could, that first spell that we upgrade, we'd reduce it by 1 for that upgrade cost. So since we had 2 of those, we'll start with 2 mental trauma at the beginning of this game and every game going forward. We actually were able to do 23 worth of experience instead of only 19, which is what you'll see with Tony. I'm pretty sure I upgraded maybe like the Ward of Protection or some, I don't know, 6 cents maybe. I have no idea what I did end up upgrading, but this will be what the deck looks like for Luke. Here we have Tony's deck. Now, don't forget, Tony does also have Randolph Carter. We got that through the scenario, so Randolph is with Tony. Tony has the 19 experience, and I have spent all 19 with different things. I have no idea what I did. Another day, another dollar, maybe one of the things. You begin each game with 2 additional resources. Also, don't forget, I am playing at least with the taboo list from a year and a half ago. I don't know if there's any new updated taboos. I think Arkham DB will have that for me, so I'm going to be using this to upgrade our decks for the last 4 scenarios. So hopefully I'll keep that into account, but if you see something that I'm cheating on, just let me know. Our next scenario is scenario 3A, Dark Side of the Moon. If at least one investigator was captured, we did not have any captured. Instead, what we had was Virgil being captured, so we'll just go to Intro 2. You have little choice if you are to save the Corsair's captives. You must sail to the moon and rescue them yourselves, or they will surely become slaves of the beast who will call it home. They are evil creatures who serve an even greater evil, Randolph explains as you prepare to set sail. There are port cities like Dilathene that have dealt with them before, but few know their true identity, for they wear disguises to mask their hideous nature. Perhaps your captain, who shuttled you to and from the various regions of the Dreamlands, dealt with them in the past, or perhaps not. For the sake of your own sanity, it may be better not to dwell on suspicions of betrayal. How does one even sail to the moon, you ask, befuddled? By now you are no stranger to the oddities of the Dreamlands, having spent weeks exploring its cities, wilds, and places stranger still. Even knowing the laws of physics and astronomy should not apply here, you struggle to imagine how one might sail a ship into space. It will be a long journey, Randolph answers. Far across the sea lies the basalt pillars of the west. Between these pillars, the ocean plunges off the edge of the world. If we sail off of the precipice between them, we can cross the void of space itself. Well, that sounds easy. You shouldn't be surprised that the world of Earth's Dreamlands is flat. After all, everything else here is a fiction too. Still, you are incredulous. I've sailed this route before, Randolph says, sensing your skepticism, but I fear this time it might be a one-way trip, especially without a crew. We may need to find an altogether different way to unknown Kadath. Are you prepared? You look to the horizon where the Crayolan Sea meets the sky. Somewhere out there, your aid is needed. What's more, the proof you seek may lie across the sea, over the edge of the very world itself. Ha! You're prepared to embark. We'll gather all the following encounter sets. You can see them right here. Then we're going to put the City of the Moon Beast, Temple of the Moon Lizard, Moon Forest, and the Dark Crater into play. Set each other location aside out of play. We're going to check the campaign log. If at least one investigator was captured, we can skip that. Each investigator was captured, we can skip that. Each other investigator begins play in the Moon Forest. I like the sound of that. Check the campaign log. If Randolph was captured, he was not. Set the following cards aside out of play: the Moon Lizard enemy, the Virgil Gray story asset, the Captain story asset, and the False Awakening weakness. Place one doom on each investigator card. This doom represents the investigator's current alarm level. It does not count as doom and does not count towards the current agenda's doom threshold. Shuffle the remainder of the encounter deck to build the encounter deck. Then we have the alarm level. So there's an alarm level in this scenario. The setup of this scenario instructs the players to place one doom on each investigator card, marking their current alarm level. As the investigators attempt to escape from the grasp of the moon beasts, their respective alarm levels may increase or decrease based on their actions and decisions. A higher alarm level means you are closer to being discovered, which will significantly hinder your attempts to escape. If an effect raises an investigator's alarm level by any amount, place that much doom on your investigator's card to represent this. Likewise, if you reduce it, you can remove that doom. Even though it is marked using doom tokens, an investigator's alarm level is not doom and does not count towards the agenda doom's threshold. An investigator's alarm level has no effect on its own, but I'm assuming it will have some sort of effect with the encounter cards. Yay! Silent stirring. The silence of this place is deafening. There's no wind whistling through the air, no chirping of birds, no idle sound of any kind. This is a dead world. Though you know danger lurks around every corner, you hear no sign of the beasts or the corsairs who call this place home. You must remain even quieter in order to stay hidden. In the belly of the moon beast, Virgil Gray is held captive somewhere in this vast, strange city of the moon beasts. You must be quiet and cunning if you are to find him and escape unnoticed. Yeah, do you see Tony being quiet? He's going to be shooting his guns left and right. I don't know. Objective. Only investigators at the City of the Moon Beasts may spend the required number of clues as a group to advance, and we need 6 clues. You can see here the different chaos token abilities. So the skull is X, which is half of your alarm level rounded up. And then this one is the cultist, reveal another token. If you fail your alarm level and your alarm level is higher than your modified skill value, after the skill test ends, draw the top card of the encounter deck. Wow, that's really bad. We've got the rock, as I call it, -1 if you fail, raise your alarm level by 1. And we now have one of these because the black cat is considered with us. +1, the black cat summons several other cats to help. If this token is revealed during an evasion attempt and you succeed, deal 2 damage to the evaded enemy. Because the cats come and help you. I love that. Here we have our 4 starting locations. We're going to start at the Moon Forest. That's connected here to the Temple of the Moon Lizard and to the Dark Crater. The Dark Crater is connected to the City of the Moon Beast as well as the Moon Forest. City of the Moon Beast is connected to these 2, and this one, the Temple of the Moon Lizard, is connected to these 2 locations. Let's look at the Moon Forest. It has 2 clues on it. It has an action, test agility 5. We've got an agility 3 and an agility 2, probably not happening, to hide among the strange trees. If you succeed, reduce your alarm level by 1. Limit one success per game. Oh, wow. And then we have a free action during your turn, except during another action you can evade. If you fail, raise your alarm level by 1. Limit once per round. And this is a victory location. If we can get rid of those clues, you know I'm going to try and do that if I can. We have both of our investigators there. Let's draw our hand. It's been a bit since I recorded this, only a year and a half, so let's look at these investigators quick again. We have Luke Robinson, so you begin the game with the gate box in play. We have that here. You may play 1 event card each turn as if you were at a connecting location and engaged with each enemy at that location. And remember, that's per investigator turn, so if I can play an event during Tony's turn, I can pretend that I am in an adjacent connected location. We also have our gate box here. That's how we can go to our dream gate. And that is, we can do a free action. So we'd exhaust gate box and spend 1 charge. Disengage from each enemy that's engaged with you. Search your bonded cards for the dream gate, the wondrous journey side, and put it into play and move to it. Let's go ahead and draw our top 5 cards. We've got 5 cards here. And we have the Jewel of Aurelius. That's a nice one. We've leveled that one up. We have Calling in Favors. That's good if we have allies. We have the Hawkeye Folding Camera. I like that one. We have the Ritual of Seeking. And we have the 4 Cups. And you know what? I think I don't have any allies. So why don't we go ahead and remove this right now and just draw one more card. We have 6 Sense. That's leveled up. That's our hand. We'll shuffle this one back into our deck. Here we have Tony, and look at all the starting resources we have. We get to start with 4 additional resources. We actually have 9. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow. We also have our bounty contract. You can see here it says you may take an additional action during your turn, which can only be used to engage or fight an enemy with 1 or more bounties on it. We also have our bounty effect here. So after an enemy enters play, we can move 1 to 3 bounties from the bounty contract to that enemy, to a maximum of that enemy's health. After you defeat an enemy with 1 or more of the bounties on it, move its bounties to your resource pool as resources. Let's then go ahead and draw our 5 cards, and we have Sleight of Hand, another Sleight of Hand, Lucky Cigarette Case, Prepared for the Worst, and a 41 Derringer. Well, I definitely want to get rid of 1 Sleight of Hand, and let's do both Sleight of Hands for right now, and let's just replenish both of those. So we have an Unexpected Courage, and we have a Knuckle Duster. It's been a bit since we have played Arkham on the channel, so let's remind ourselves we have 3 actions that we can take on our turn, and we can do them in any order, and we can choose which investigator is going to go first. We're definitely going to have Luke go first, and these are all the different actions that you can do. Tony is going to use his first action to place out the Right of Seeking. It's going to cost 4 out of the 5 resources that he has, but he can place 3 charges on here and use a charge as an action to investigate using his willpower instead of his intellect, gaining +2 willpower for that total test. If you succeed, you can discover 2 clues, 1 additional one. If you reveal any of those other symbol types, though, that will mean you automatically end your turn. It may be expensive, but that means if we try and find clues on that location, we'll be at a 6 for our willpower instead of only 4, which I like. For our second action then, why don't we do it? We're going to spend our first charge here. We're going to grab from our bag for our Mythos tokens. My wife made this awesome bag. I love it. It usually is somewhat nice to me. Let's see. Oh, a skull is -X. X is half of your alarm level, rounded up. Well, my alarm level is 1, so that's a -1. So that means we succeeded. So that means instead of picking up 1 clue, we'll pick up both of them. That means we'll also have 1 victory point at the end of the game. For our third action, we can either move to the Temple of the Moon Lizard or the Dark Crater. Let's do the Temple of the Moon Lizard. That sounds a little better. This location also has 2 clues on it, but only 3 Shroud. We can spend an action and test our willpower of 5 to hide inside of the Forbidden Temple. If you succeed, reduce your alarm level by 1, limit 1 success per game. After you discover any number of clues at the Temple of the Moon Lizard, you must either take that much horror or discard that many cards from your hand. Oof. But we also have another victory 1, which I like. Okay, that's the third action for Tony. We'll flip, or I shouldn't say Tony, that was Luke. For Luke, we will end his turn. Now we'll move to Tony. For Moneybags Tony, let's start by playing Prepared for the Worst. We'll spend 1 of these resources so that we can do this. Search the top 9 cards of your deck for a weapon asset and add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. We'll grab our 9 cards. Let's see what weapons we have. We have, that's not a weapon. The Knuckle Duster is a weapon. Oh, there's Tony's 38. Yeah, I think I'm going to do Tony's 38, and I'll shuffle the rest of these into our deck. Our second and third action, let's put out the Tony's 38 Long Colt and the Lucky Cigarette. So this Long Colt comes into play with 3 ammo. It can help us hopefully do get additional bounties taken care of. And the Lucky Cigarette, after you succeed at a skill test by 2 or more, we can exhaust it to draw an additional card. That'll cost us 5 resources, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 more is 5. And I already realized, first turn I already cheated. I am going to have to move Luke back 1 space because we revealed a skull. With this, that should have immediately ended our turn. So we're both going to be in the original location. Sorry about that. So that means Luke's first action next round, as long as he isn't engaged with an enemy or something that he has to deal with, I'll make sure to have him move here. We won't move here. We'll move here first since I already know what it is. We've each done our 3 actions. We move to the enemy phase. There's no enemies out, so we'll just go to the upkeep phase. We'll reset any of our actions, ready any cards. We'll each draw 1 card and gain 1 resource. Luke will have 2 resources and Tony will have 4. Let's flip our cards over, and we have Luke getting David and Tony gets Overpower. Now we'll move to the Mythos phase, place 1 Doom on the agenda, and we won't advance it because we can have up to 5 on there. And then each investigator will draw 1 card from the top of the encounter deck. We are always going to have Tony as the lead investigator, so he'll always draw his first. 1 Doom will be placed here. We'll draw our Mythos cards. Tony's is first. We have a Moon Beast. Retaliate, a 5/5/1. Boy. Forced. After the Moon Beast enters play, raise each investigator's alarm level by 1. So that means we're each now at 2. Well, now I'm seeing why the alarm level is going to matter. The second one, after you defeat the Moon Beast, reduce each investigator's alarm level by 1. And it is a victory 1 card. So this will immediately engage Tony. We'll place that right in front of him. 5 health. Oof. Our second card, we have Ancient Evils. Place 1 Doom on the current agenda. This effect can cause the current agenda to advance. Well, we just lost an entire round. That's our second Doom on the agenda. I'm going to give myself 1 more mulligan, you guys. I should have placed bounties on the Moon Beast when it initially was revealed. Totally forgot to do that. I'm just getting back into the swing of things. So I have 3 bounties on the Moon Beast. That's important because now we're going to move to Tony's turn, and we are going to attack for free the first time that Moon Beast. We get to attack the Moon Beast the first time for a free action because it has bounties on it. So we're going to use 1 of our ammos, and we are gaining +1 to our fight for each bounty on it. So there's 3. So that we're actually attacking it at 5 + 3, which is 8. 8 to the fight of 5. Let's see what we get. We get a 0. Perfect. So then we compare that 0, or 8, I should say, to the 5 that is the fight value of the Moon Beast, and it takes 2 damage. Normally only take 1, but this deals +1 damage. Of course, it has 5 health, so this is going to take a bit. What do you say then? We do this a second time. So we're going to spend another bullet. We're going to use this gun up completely. We're still hitting it from an 8 to a 5. We'll reveal that's a -2, 8, 7, 6. 6 is still good. That's 2 more points of damage, but it's not dead yet. So let's use that final bullet. This is our second action, and now our Colt is completely empty. We've already released it all out. We have another -2, so we're good. We just took out the Moon Beast. If you look here, it says, if this attack defeats an enemy with 1 or more bounties on it, place 1 bounty on the bounty contracts card. So I get 1 of those bounties back, which is nice. Also, since we just took out the Moon Beast, we'll gain 3 resources, and we'll put this in our victory display, and we each get to reduce our alarm level by 1. And I know one of the times I attacked, I revealed a 0, which means we succeeded on a skill test by 2 or more. So we can exhaust our lucky cigarette. I use this as the exhaust just because it's easier than turning everything sideways. That means we get to draw a card, and we have the knuckle dusters. So now we have 1 action left. Our gun is empty. I think I got to put something out. I think for now, we'll simply put out the Knuckle Dusters. This attack deals +1 damage, but it doesn't help our fight value. So it's a little risky, but at least we have that out to deal +1 damage. And that cost us 2 resources. So that was Tony's turn. Tony cleaned up shop. Luke says, thank you very much. First action, we definitely want to move over here, just purely from the standpoint that we did it last time. So that way we've done 1 action, and we know there's 2 clues there. Action 2 for Luke, let's put out the Hawkeye folding camera. After the last clue is discovered from your location, we can place a resource here. When it has 1 or more, we get +1 to our willpower, which is nice. 2 or more, +1 to our intellect. 3 or more, we gain +1 sanity. Kind of cool. That takes up 1 hand slot, but we have 2 hands, so we're totally fine. That does use both of our resources. We have 1 action left. Let's get 1 resource on there, shall we, if we can? So we'll spend this charge so that we will gain, our total willpower is 6 then. We're questing, oh my gosh, questing, I'm thinking Lord of the Rings. We are trying to find those clues with 6 willpower. That's compared to the 3 shroud that we have there. So let's reveal 1 token, and we have the star, which is awesome. That's the elder sign symbol. That will give us 2 more clues. That gives us another charge for our gate box, which is awesome. Another get out of jail free. And we just gained the last clue from a certain location. So now we can place a token here to denote what we have +1 willpower. So our willpower now is 5. We still don't have any enemies to worry about, so we'll skip that phase. We'll go to upkeep. This will mean Luke has 1 resource and Tony will have 6. Jeez, so many resources. I wish I could share. I wonder if there's a card for sharing. It's been a long time since I've played. We're each going to draw a card. Luke will grab the Uncage the Soul, and Tony will grab from over here. He's got his Tennessee Sour Mash. Then we will move to the top, going to the Mythos phase. We'll place our 3rd Doom here, and let's start drawing some encounter cards. Our first card will be for Tony, and we have Forced into Hiding. Test our willpower X, where X is your alarm level. Our alarm level is 1. Our willpower, though, is 2. If you fail by 1, lose 1 action. That's the most that we can fail by. Do I want to spend anything? Do I have any willpower cards in my hand? Let's see. We do on the Tennessee Sour Mash. We also have Unexpected Courage. I don't really care about losing an action right now. I mean, I don't want to lose an action, but yeah. So we want a 0 or just a -1. And we get, an auto fail. So an auto fail is considered like it's a 0. So that would mean that we simply lose 1 action. I'm going to put this here to remind myself. Then we're going to move to Tony. Tony has Somophobia. Test willpower 5. For each point you fail, take 1 horror to a maximum of 3 horror. For the purpose of committing or counting icons committed to the skill test, any of those symbols count as matching icons, and if you do a willpower or a question mark, it counts as 2. So willpower 5. Our willpower is 5. Do I want to use anything? I don't know. You know, I really like this jewel, but I think I am going to use it. That will give me +2 to our willpower. So that's a 7 to a 5. Oh, that kind of hurts, though. I really wanted to play that card. Let's draw this one. Don't be an auto fail. Oh, it's a -2, so that's 5 to 5. Beautiful. We took no horror for that one. You know, it'd be really good if I actually read these locations again. I'm so sorry. After you discover any number of clues on this location, you must either take that much horror or discard that many cards from your hand. Well, I don't know what I would have discarded, so I'm just going to take the horror, but it's a darn good thing I didn't take any more horror. That puts me at 4 out of 9. I need to find a way to heal some of that. I don't even know if I have any healing in this deck at this point. Okay, now we're all caught up. Let's go with Luke to start. Remember, Tony over here only has 2 actions. So yeah, let's start with Luke. First thing he's going to do, he'll move over here to the City of the Moon Beasts. And it looks like we have found 2 more clues. And we have X for Shroud. X is the highest alarm level among all investigators. That's 1. At the end of the round, each investigator at the City of the Moon Beasts tests Agility 2. Each investigator who fails must raise their alarm level by 1. Oh, that's kind of cool. So we've done 1 action to move here. Why don't we... Oh, it'd be nice if I actually had him on camera, huh? There we go. Luke's going, why am I off camera? Should we do... I mean, it's a 1. I don't think... Man, our intelligence is only 3. Do we use our right of seeking and then try and avoid... Well, we need to end in that location to give up the clues anyways. There's also no negative for failing, so let's just go for it. Our intellect is 3. There's nothing that's adjusting that. Nope. And we only have an alarm level of 1. That's the highest. So for our second action, let's investigate. And we get the skull. Beautiful. The skull will work. We'll put that back in here and we'll collect 1 clue. That's our 5th one. Let's try it one more time. Come on, don't be terrible. Don't be terrible. I'm talking to a chaos bag. That's a +1. That really isn't terrible. That means we definitely got this one, but that also means we now need to do an agility test of 2. If we don't, we have to raise our alarm level by 1. Don't forget, though, for our Hawkeye folding camera, we can place a second resource there, and now we have +1 intellect as well. So that's a 5-4. He's pretty awesome. Let's do that agility test. Do I want to spend anything? No, I don't even have anything that can affect agility. He's not an agile person. Well, 3 isn't terrible. It could be worse. Let's see what we get. We get a -1. 3 minus 1 is 2. We're actually safe. That was not expected. Tony only has 2 actions. So his first action, let's go to the Dark Crater just so I can see what's there. We can test our intellect 5 to hide within the crater. If you succeed, reduce your alarm level by 1. At the end of your turn, if you are at the dark crater and have discovered one or more of its clues this turn, test your willpower 3. If you fail, raise your alarm level by 1. Well, I don't think we're going to be finding any clues there. Let's, for our second and final action, play the Tennessee Sour Mash. We'll put 2 supplies on here. We can exhaust this and spend a supply to gain +2 willpower for a test on a treachery card. Or we can discard this to fight and you get +3 to the strength of that attack. That cost us 3 resources. I think that's pretty good. Still no enemies out, so we'll refresh. I think we're all set there. We'll generate resources. We'll go to 4 for Tony. We'll go for 2 for Luke. We will each draw a card. Tony will draw his weakness. Spawn, location furthest from Tony. It's aloof. After Tony's query enters play, place 1 doom on it, then place 1 resource on it from the token pool as a bounty. Oh, I think because of him, we're going to push the agenda forward. That's terrible because we have 4 doom now. Tony, why is it that your past is causing us so many issues? I think that's the furthest location from Tony, and it's aloof, so it won't automatically engage anyone, and it's just going to sit here. It has 3 health. If we take it out, though, we gain, a resource, but this is going to cause us to advance. Luke also will draw a card, and he draws another Hawkeye folding camera. We'll then move to the Mythos phase, place our 4th Doom here, plus the 1 that's on Tony's query, and that will be the 5 that we need. Now, once again, this is because I haven't played this game in a while, and come on, you guys. I should have flipped this over at the end of my turn. Actually, I could have done it during the middle of his turn. I could have flipped this over because I have the 6 clues required. So we'll just start the next round by doing that. It's my fault. We'll just deal with it. Let's flip this one first. A single screech pierces the silence and you instinctively duck for cover. You have seen these creatures before, horrid, eyeless monstrosities that fly alongside the Corsair's black galleys, terrible things of bone and leathery membranes and skin. A flock circles and screeches overhead. Have you been spotted? It doesn't matter, you cannot stay here any longer. Shuffle the encounter, discard pile into the encounter deck, and raise each investigator's alarm by 1. The alarm is raised. Your pace quickens as the creature's pursuit grows more frenzied with each passing minute. The silence you once cursed is broken. The awful piercing screeches that punctuate the night are even worse. Our first card is for Tony, and we have another enemy, the Corsair of Lang. Now I'm going to put 2 bounties on that. Yeah, let's put 2 because it has health of 4. Jeez. Spawn, nearest city or surface location. I'm pretty sure we're at one. It is alert. So what that means is if we try and evade, even if we weren't engaged with this monster, if we try and evade from any monster and we fail, it will immediately attack us. After the Corsair of Lang attacks via its alerts keyword, it gets -3 evade for the remainder of the phase. I'm pretty sure that's just going to engage Tony. Our next one we have is the Lunar Patrol. Attached to your location, test Agility 3 to lose the patrol. If you succeed, discard this. When an investigator leaves the attached location, raise that investigator's alarm by 1. The Corsair would most certainly spawn at the Dark Crater, so it is engaged with Tony, and the Lunar Patrol is here at the City of the Moon Beasts. Well, that sure was fun. Let's start now with Luke, and we'll spend the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clues that we have, so we can flip the Act card. After hours of weaving around leprous stone towers and searching high and low, you finally spot a group of shackled captives being led single file from the docks to who knows where. Luckily, they are guarded by only 2 of the foul Corsairs. You create a distraction loud enough to separate the pair, then sneak by in order to free the captives. Choose an investigator at the City of the Moonbeast, well, that's Luke, to take control of the set-aside Virgil Gray story asset. Check campaign log. If Randolph was captured, that card's owner puts the set-aside Randolph Carter's story asset into their hand. No, he was not captured. He's somewhere in Tony's deck. Luke will have control of Virgil Gray here. After your alarm is raised, either draw 1 card, gain 1 resource, or heal 1 horror from Virgil Gray. If there's more than 1 investigator in the game, give control of Virgil Gray to another investigator. Forced. If Virgil Gray is defeated, remove him from the game. Now that you are reunited, it's time to get off this rock. Randolph informs you that the light side of the moon should be safe from the reach of the moon beasts, who dwell only on this side. However, it is much too far for you to walk on foot. You'll have to find another way to escape. Only investigators at the Temple of the Moon Lizard may spend the required number of clues as a group to advance, and we just need 2. Well, there's only one location with 2 clues. I think we know what we're doing. Luke has not taken any actions this turn, so I think what he's going to do is spend his first action to move to the Dark Crater. But because he moved out of that location, we have here, when an investigator leaves the attached location, raise that investigator's alarm by 1. That's going to put us to 3. Bummer. Then, though, we do have Virgil Gray here, and we're going to use his ability that whenever our alarm is raised by 1, we can actually heal 1 horror. So we're going to go down to only 3 horror instead of 4. And then since we're playing a 2-player game, I will give Virgil Gray over to Tony. Action 2 then, we'll play Uncage the Soul. Play a spell or ritual card from your hand, reducing its cost by 3. Why not? Because guess what? We can play 6 cents then for free. And it gives us an investigate action. We can have 2 arcane spells. This is our second one. The Rite of Seeking is the other one. We can investigate using our willpower instead of our intellect, and we gain +2 for it. We can also do it up to 2 locations away, which is pretty cool. Our third and final action, then, we're going to use our Rite of Seeking. We have 7 willpower for this test, comparing to the 2 that we have here. Let's see what we get. Oh, we get that. What does that symbol mean? Let's see. That one is +1. Awesome. Oh my gosh. Thank you, cats. So that makes us 8. That definitely means we've collected both of these clues, but our Rite of Seeking has now been used up. Then I think I'm going to use one of the charges from my gate box, and I can do this as a free action. I have to exhaust this, so exhaust the gate box and spend 1 charge. Disengage from each enemy. I don't have any that are engaged with me. Search your bonded cards of the Dream Gate, the Wondrous Journey, and put it into play and move to it. What's nice about moving to the Dream Gate is it says the Dream Gate is connected to each other revealed location, and vice versa. Enemies and investigators other than Luke Robinson cannot enter here. And then at the end of the investigation phase, set the Dream Gate aside out of play. If Robinson is here, if Luke is here, move him to any revealed location. So that's going to get me to the right location so I can drop off these 2 clues. And I don't have to worry about the end of turn effect of the location that we're at. Ha! Take that. Before we move to Tony's turn, we do get to place 1 more resource on the Hawkeye folding camera, and now we have +1 sanity. What do you say for Tony? We knuckle duster this Corsair. So this will deal +1 damage, but we don't have any additional value to our fight, so it's a 5 to a 2. Let's reveal our first one. We have a -3, 5, 4, 3, 2. So 2 to 2, we just barely got him. We tied him. That deals him 2 damage. Not enough to do the lucky cigarette. Whew. Second action, let's punch him again. Let's do this one, and that's a skull. Our alarm level is 2, divided by half is only 1. So -1, 5 minus 1 is 4. So that means we will take out the Corsair because it had 4 health. 2 hits will take him out, and we can exhaust this to draw a card because we succeeded on a skill test by 2 or more. And we have extra ammunition. That's awesome. We also will gain 2 more resources. Gosh, I really need to find a way to give those to Luke. After we clean the clocks of that Corsair, let's use extra ammunition. We'll spend 2 resources to do it, to place 3 ammo tokens on a firearm asset controlled by an investigator at our location. Yeah, we're loading up our 38 long Colt again. That's sweet. And I should say, if you like these tokens, these are 3D printed tokens. I'll put a link in the description below where you can find them. At the end of the investigation phase, Luke will show up here at the Temple of the Moon Lizard. Perfect to start the next round to advance our act. We'll then each generate a resource. That will be the 3rd for Luke Robinson, and that will be the 5th for Tony. We will then each draw a card. Don't be bad, Luke. This is Luke's Uncage the Soul. That's not bad. And for Tony, Tony will have Contraband. We'll then place 1 Doom here on the alarm is raised, and let's draw our encounter cards. Our first card will be for Tony. Tony has the Dreamer's Curse. Test your willpower 5. Seriously, our willpower is 2. For each point of damage, for each point you fail by, take 1 damage to a maximum of 3 damage. And all those symbols count as 1, with that one, the right ones counting as double. Why don't we take 2 swigs from the Tennessee Sour Mash? That will give us +4 to our willpower. So 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 to the 5. Come on. Don't be terrible to me. Don't be terrible. We have a -1. So that's a 5 to a 5. We are good. Take that. No damage. We'll discard the Dreamer's Curse. I love these cards, though. They're very thematic. We then have Deep Slumber. Put Deep Slumber into play in your threat area. That's Luke Robinson threat area. Your maximum hand size is reduced by 3, so that means we're down to 5. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 cards in hand, so we're actually doing okay. Check after each time you draw 1 or more cards for that hand size, and we'd have to spend 2 actions to get rid of that. Ugh. Luke will start us off for this round, spending the 2 required clues to move our act again. Wow, way to go, Luke. While the majority of this temple is dedicated to an idol that moon-dwelling creatures refer to as the Moon Lizard, you also find several references to some kind of lake of primordial black ooze not far beneath the surface that binds together the core of the moon. These texts imply that the whole of the moon's surface is connected by this core across multiple dimensions. Perhaps we can use it to cross over to the moon's other side, Randolph suggests. Or to the afterlife, Virgil adds. Yes, one or the other, Randolph replies nonchalantly. It is still our only option. Put the set-aside Caverns Beneath the Moon Dark Side and the Black Core locations into play. Spawn the set-aside Moon Lizard at the Black Core. Exhausted, shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Here we have the Caverns Beneath the Moon. It is connected to Luke's location, and it's actually connected to the Dark Crater. I see the moon symbol, and that's right where Tony is. That's really lucky. So Tony and Luke are both adjacent to this location. And of course, we have the Moon Lizard here, which only has, 8 health. X, let's see what it says. Moon Lizard can only enter cave locations. It is a hunter, so normally it will hunt to find us, but right now we only have 2 cave locations. While the Moon Lizard is engaged with an investigator, X is the investigator's alarm level. Otherwise, X is 5. Oh, so if it's not engaged, it's 5. If it's engaged, it's your alarm level, which Luke is 3, and we have for Tony only 2. Yeah, Tony could totally, it's going to take some shots, but Tony could potentially take that lizard out. One other thing, I definitely want to place a bounty on this enemy. Whenever an enemy enters play, you can place a bounty on it. So I only have 1 bounty left, but yeah, we definitely want to try and take this guy out, I think. You suspend your disbelief and descend beneath the moon's crust. In order to reach the other side of the moon, you must make your way through its black core, a trans-dimensional, fluid form which nightmares are born. Clues cannot be discovered from the black core except as a result of successful investigation. Oh, so you can't sneak one in or something. If each surviving investigator is at the black core and it has no clues on it, we can advance. Action 1 for Luke will be to play the 4 cups. This is going to give us +1 willpower. So our willpower now is 4, 5, 6. Awesome. And we don't get this effect because we didn't have it in our hand. This is a tarot card, so we can only have 1 tarot card. That's all 3 of our resources. Action 2, I think we're simply going to generate a resource since we are resource starved. And I think for our third action, we're going to do this test. Test your willpower 5 to hide inside the Forbidden Temple. If you succeed, reduce your alarm level by 1. We are also going to discard Uncage the Soul, which has 2 willpower symbols. So our willpower is 4, plus the 2 that we have there for 5 and 6, plus 2 more here, which is 7, 8. So it's 8 to 5. Where's my chaos bag? There we go. I found it. Let's reveal 8 to 5. We have one of those. That's 9 to 5. We definitely get to remove one of these, which is great. And we get to place another charge onto our gate box. That is our total of 3 actions. Let's move to Tony. Tony's first action is going to be kind of fun. We're going to spend 4 resources. Yeah, it's super expensive to do contraband, but I feel like it's worth it. We only have 1 left. Choose an asset controlled by an investigator at your location. Double the number of ammo tokens or supplies that are on it. That means we now have 6 bullets in our 38 long Colt. That's why I feel like we can maybe take out that Moon Beast. This might seem a little bit weird, but I think our second action, we're going to move from the Dark Crater. You can see that symbol matches the Caverns Beneath the Moon. So that's action 2 is to move here. Let's see what it is. It's a Shroud 6 location. Oh man. After you fail a skill test while investigating the caverns beneath the moon, until the end of your turn, reduce its shroud by 2. Oh, so you can fail one time, reduce it by 2, and then maybe succeed. I mean, that's how I would have to do it, because wow. I was thinking of moving Tony to the black core, but if you read this, the path to the moon's core is long and winding. You cannot enter the black core while the caverns beneath the moon has clues on it. So Tony is not going to do that. For Tony's third action, I think he'll just generate 1 resource, so he has 2 resources. We now have an enemy on the board. Let's go to the enemy phase. The only enemy out is this moon lizard. All it will do is unexhaust, and it's now going to hunt us in the caves. So right now that would just be Tony. We'll then each generate a resource. Luke will be at 2, and Tony will generate his third resource. We will refresh everything and draw cards. This is Tony's card. Tony has Sleight of Hand, and Luke will have, he has the Astounding Revelation. We can place Doom number 2 here, and now let's draw our encounter cards. We'll draw our top card, and we have Hunted by Corsairs. Attach the Hunted by Corsairs to the current act. When the act advances, each investigator takes 2 damage. Not terrible. The attached act gains, you can spend an action to test your intellect 4 to outwit them, or agility 4 to sneak past them. If you succeed, discard this. Yeah, we're probably just going to soak the 2 damage, because we're not good at either one of those. Oh, we have an enemy. This is the Moonbound Byakushi. Spawn at the near surface location. Oh, that's exactly where Luke is. Oh, boy. It says prey. The highest alarm level, 3 or more only. It's alert and hunter. While moving or engaging, the Moonbound Byakushi ignores investigators with an alarm level of 2 or less. So I believe because of that, it's going to be aloof because it will not engage Luke because Luke only has 2 alarm. I'm so glad he snuck and hid. Oh my gosh, that was great. We've got ourselves 2 enemies out here in the lizard area, but they are both aloof. Let me know if you disagree, but I believe that's how that works. If it's not going to engage as long as your alarm is 2 or less. So now moving to the investigator phase, I do think Luke is going to go first. He's going to move into the cave for action 1. Then we have to see if we can get these. The 6th sense could work, so we can investigate using our willpower, which is 6 right now. You get +2, so it's actually 8. If we reveal any of those tokens during the test, you may choose a revealed location up to 2 connections away from your location. You are now investigating as if you were at that chosen location. In addition, you may use either shroud value, which is awesome. Our willpower is 8 compared to the 6 shroud. Let's reveal this one. That is a skull, so that's only a -1. So that means we will succeed, but we only collect 1 clue. So that was the first one. That's our second action. Our third action, come on, is a -1. That means we will gain this clue as well. We will exhaust ourselves, but that's great because that means Tony can move and take some shots at that lizard. Tony will use his first action then to move into the black core, but that means we need to reveal what this is, and he will be engaged with this moon lizard. We have here forced. After the black core is revealed, place 3 resources on it as depth tokens, plus an additional 3 per investigator depth tokens. Oh my gosh. So let's make sure we count this right. We'll have 9 resource tokens on here. X is the number of depth tokens here, so this is a 9 shroud location. It does also have 2 clues, and remember, we need to get those clues in order for us to advance our act, which then, of course, we take 2 damage. But that's the only way we win. We can spend an action and test either our willpower or our strength to swim through the dark lake at the moon's core. For each point you succeed by, remove 1 depth token from the black core. Tony's sitting here like, that's great. I'm going to go for a swim after I shoot this moon beast's eyes out. Let's do that now. The moon lizard does have a bounty on it, so that means we can use our ability here, which means we can do 1 free attack. Let's use 1 bullet from our really loaded long colt. We get +1 strength for this attack, and the attack will deal 2 damage. Remember, it has 8 health because it's 4 per investigator. So we reveal a +1 while we have a 5, +1 which is 6, +1 which is 7, and we are only having to fight against a 2. So that's totally fine. That's our first hit for 2 damage. Second one. This is now our, let's see, our second action because we had a free shot there. we will reveal a 0, so that's great. That means we get to place 2 more points of damage on him. And I'm not going to forget, we just passed a skill test by 2 or more, so we'll exhaust our lucky cigarette case to draw a card, and we have Vicious Blow. Oh, that would give us +1 damage, but that's still not enough to defeat him. If we dealt 3 damage, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so yeah, I'm going to hold on to that. I'm just going to use my 3rd bullet, and we're still attacking him for 6 to 2, so even a -4 will be okay. Really, it's only the fail token, I think, that will do it for us. So the cultist means we just draw another one, and that one is only a -1, so I think we're good. We just dealt him 2 more damage. This will mean, though, he's going to attack us pretty hard, 2 and 2 during the enemy phase, which actually we're going to move to right now. So we take 2 physical and 2 mental damage from him. I'll take the 2 physical. The 2 mental damage, let's put on to Vigil Gray. He has 3, so it's not going to kill him. So we'll put the 2 here. He's not dead yet, as they say. The other enemies on the board are both aloof, so they're not going to move. If someone had 3 alert or more, that 1 would start hunting them, but no one does. So then we're just going to generate a resource. We've got 4 over here for Tony and 3 over here for Luke. Oop, that should just be a 1. We're each going to draw a card. We'll see what we get here. We get the Elder Sign Amulet. This is awesome. I definitely need to put this out for some additional sanity. And Luke will draw Narcolepsy, his weakness. Put Narcolepsy into play in your threat area. You cannot take actions, trigger abilities, or play cards. You just spend an action to discard this. After you take damage or horror, you can also discard this. Wow, great. Let's then drop our 3rd Doom here and draw some encounter cards. Our first one that we have is the Corsair of Lang, another enemy. That's for Tony, but it's going to spawn in the nearest city or surface location, so that will not be where he's at. And then the second one that we have the Forced into Hiding again. That is for Luke. We need to test our willpower, where our willpower is equal to our alarm. Our alarm's only 2. Our total willpower right now is 4 plus 2, which is 6. Let's grab one from our bag and see what we get. We get a -2. 6 minus 2 is still 4. That's still good enough. So no loss of actions or anything like that. We are going to have to place a Corsair of Lang here. Let's hope we don't have to go back to this location. There's a Corsair, there's a Moonbound Byakshi, and Tony's Query all sitting out at this temple. Well, it's looking like free action time. Let's take that final bullet. Can't believe I had to use 4 of my bullets here, but I'm going to shoot this Moon Lizard. We are once again at 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 to the 2 of his fight. Let's reveal this one. That's a -4. Oh my gosh, 2 to 2. We just take him out. Oh, I was hoping to trigger this. We're not going to do that. I cannot believe it. That last one barely did it. Now, when we take him out, because we did it with our Long Colt, we generate 1 bounty. We're also going to gain 1 resource. And this is a victory card, so we're going to remove this from the game. We still have 3 actions left, so let's do this action for our first one, using Overpower to add +2 to our strength. Our strength then is 7, so it's 7 to 2. Let's see, we have this one that's a -2, so that's 5 to 2. That means we get to remove 3 of these from here. Swimming in the lake is nice. Good thing we've got some strong arms. We are going to exhaust our lucky cigarette case so we can draw a card, and we have another Contraband. Oh, I love that card. Let's go ahead and do this again using Unexpected Courage. So we are once again doing 7 to a 2. I want to get rid of as many of these as I can. That is a -1, so it's a 6 to a 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We just removed 4 of these. And now I have 1 more action. That means it's only a Shroud 2 location, so I might leave that. Who knows what is coming? Let's pull out our other Contraband that cost 4 resources, so we're back down to only 1, but we're going to double our ammunition. Now, I wish there was 3 on there, so we would have 6, but I'm still good with 4 bullets. I like that. On Luke's turn, the first thing we'll do is get rid of this Narcolepsy that takes 1 action. Action 2, we're going to move Luke over here to the Black Core. And action 3, let's just do our Investigate with our 6th sense. That means our willpower is 6, 6 to 2. We get a skull. Our alarm is only 2, so we'll be able to collect 1 of these. Not both of them, just 1 of them. The only enemies on the board are not moving, so we're going to leave them where they are. We'll then go to the refresh, so we will generate a 4th resource for Luke and a 2nd resource for Tony. We will draw a card. This one is for Luke. Luke gets the Ward of Protection. He does have 4 cards in hand. Remember, his max hand size is 5. Tony will draw, let's see, 41 Derringer. We'll place our 4th Doom here, and now let's draw our encounter cards. We'll draw for Tony first, and we have the cats from Saturn. These are the bad cats. A 2/2/2. Oh, it's a swarming X. X is your alarm level, so his alarm level is 2. So that means there's actually 3 of these enemies. We're going to take the top 2 cards of his deck and put them underneath here. After host of cats from Saturn move or are evaded, discard one of its swarm cards. Okay. That will immediately engage him because, yeah, it's in his spot. Oh, I drew a couple extra here. There we go. We'll flip this. This is Close Watch, and that's for Luke. Test your agility 4. His agility is 3. If you fail, you must either discard the asset you control with the highest printed cost, which would be the Rite of Seeking, which I don't have anything on anyways, or raise your alarm level by 1. Yeah, I'm okay. I'll just test it. I'm at a 3. Let's see what I get. I get a -1. I'm at a 2. So I'm going to have to discard the Rite of Seeking. I don't have anything on it anyways. That's fine. It is what it is. Tony's a little bit busy with cats from an alien universe, but I think Luke is going to continue to press on. His first action, he'll use his 6th sense to investigate, and he gets an auto fail. Okay, well, that's an auto fail. At least nothing bad happens, I don't think. Nope, I don't see anything bad there. Well, that was the first action. Total 100% fail at finding that clue. Must have gotten lost in the water. Here's action 2. Action 2 is an auto fail again. Seriously? Okay. Action 3, I'm going to really shake this bag up. And we're going to grab this one. That is the skull, which means it's only a 1. We definitely can get that final clue. If each surviving investigator is at the black core and it has no clues on it, then we can advance. We didn't take care of this, so because of that, we're each going to take 2 points of damage. I'm going to have each of the investigators just soak that. The lake of black ichor below the surface of the moon is miles wide and bubbles with warm, noxious pockets of gas. Most of the lake bed is completely solid, and it seems for a moment that Randolph's plan is a dead end after all. Then, you take a final step and your foot is caught by nothing. Before you can react, you are yanked under the surface. You try to shout a warning to your companions, but your words are swallowed by the black core along with the rest of your body. Your lungs barely have air. You struggle not to scream as you are carried by a fierce undertow. When you finally emerge, you are in another chamber just like the one you came from, only you can see a shaft of light piercing through the gray crust above you. Moments later, the rest of your party emerges. Did we make it? Virgil asks. Why, I thought that was the end for sure. This will make for an exciting chapter. Put the set-aside caverns beneath the moon light side, the light side of the moon, and the white ship's location into play. Here are the 3 new locations. It looks like the cavern beneath the moon is only connected to the black core. This is then only connected to the light side of the moon, which is only connected to the white ship. Unexpected rescue. The surface of the light side of the moon is patrolled by ships that sail through the windless sky. One, however, looks different from the rest. Its hull is stark and shining, casting a white glow into the night. The white ship, breathes Randolph. Find a way off the moon. You'll be instructed when to advance. Okay. Let's now move to Tony's turn. He's going to use his knuckle duster and hammer at this cat from Saturn. First one is a 0. He has 5 total, so that will deal 2 damage, getting rid of 1 of the swarms. Okay. Let's do our second one. And unfortunately, I didn't put any bounties on it, but I didn't feel like it was worth it. We're just going to spend our whole turn here. -2, that's 3. That's still higher than the 2, so that will take this one out. And by the way, both of those are going to the bottom of our deck. Our third one, come on, let's just take it out. A skull, that's only -1, so we're at a 4, and I'm realizing we haven't used this yet. So I'll exhaust this because we did pass that skill check by 2 or more. That will allow us to draw a card, and we have extra ammunition. That's amazing. Our Tony's 38 is never going to run out of ammunition. There are still no enemies that are going to move, so we will simply refresh, and we will draw cards. I have Oh, and I should say generate resources. So we'll have a third one here. We'll have a fifth one for Luke, who can't seem to draw worth beans. Luke will then draw, calling in favors. And we have over here for Tony. Tony will draw his other 38. But if I play that, then I don't have the Knuckle Duster. I think I'll keep that in my hand. Well, we held off for a while, but that will be our fifth doom. So let's flip our agenda. Run, rabbit, run. Oh boy. Your escape route is cut off as a pack of lithe creatures surround you. At first glance, you believe them to be cats, but they are only vague cat-like in shape. What you mistook for fur is more akin to a series of patterns, like strange filgress. You silently pray for aid. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Raise each investigator's alarm by 1. Oh no, that one is going to start hunting us because now we're at 3. Need to find a way to reduce that. Check the campaign log. If the investigators force their way into the temple, read the following. I don't think we did that. Confirmed we did not. And to your surprise, an army of cats lands in front of you, having leaped through the void of space itself. You recognize the cat at the head of the formation as the gray old cat with the scar you met months ago.
Go, human,
He yells.
We will hold them off.
They are upon you. The entirety of the Moon Denzians are set against you. Behind every corner, a group of corsairs lies in wait, or a pack of hunting cats lurks to herd you towards its vicious masters. The skies above swarm with winged beasts and black galleys. If you cannot find a way back to Earth, you will surely be captured. Hint, the game will not end when this agenda advances, but the agents of Narothotep will tighten their noose. We'll draw our first encounter card for Tony, and we have Close Watch. Test your agility 4. If you fail, you must either discard the asset you control at the highest printed cost or raise your alarm. I can discard... Yeah, I can discard the Tennessee Sour Mash. That's totally fine. I am going to have a 2 minus 1, which is 1. Yeah, so I failed that one. So I'll go ahead and discard this because that has a cost of 3. That's our highest costed asset. Cool. And then let's see about our other one. We have another moon-bound Byakuya. It's going to spawn at the nearest surface location, and now it's going to try and move. So its prey is the highest alarm level, which we're both at 3. So it's going to chase us down. Actually, you know where it's going to go? Over here with all the other enemies. That is the closest surface location, because this one is a surface location here, and that's 2 away, but this one is also 2 away. So then I get to pick. Definitely picking that one. I want to pick this one. So then we're now going to move to the investigation phase. Let's definitely do a Luke. Luke will move 1 into the caverns beneath the moon. This is just like the dark side, so this is Darth Vader versus Luke Skywalker. We're going to need to claim those 2 clues, though, in order to move over here. It's a 6 total shroud, so let's do our 6th sense. Our total willpower is 4 plus 2, which is 6 plus 2 more because of the 6th sense. That's 8. 8 to 6. Whew. It's a little tight. Oh, actually, no, that's totally fine. That'll give us 9 to 6, and we'll gain another charge on our gate box. So that's 1 of these, and then we just need 1 more. Come on, we can do that. We can do that. Just a -2 or better. And we get a -3, so that means we failed at getting that one. Bummer. You know what that means, right? Tony is going to come in, and he's just going to be able to do it. He's going to move here. That's his action 1. Action 2, he's going to try. His intellect is 3 compared to the 6. We're just totally going to fail this. Hopefully I don't have anything that's going to hit our alarm level. Oh, he gets his +1. Well, let me see what that ability is. Well, that's kind of terrible that we drew that this time, because that gives us +2. We were at 3, so +2 is 5. We're 1 away from the 6. So we still fail, but we do get to place 1 bounty onto our contracts. Okay, now it's down to a 4. So it's a 4 to our 3. I am going to discard Sleight of Hand. So that's going to give us 4 for our intellect. So it's 4 to 4. Then I'm going to discard Tony's 38. That's 2 more. That's a 6. And do I want to do 1 more? I've got all these cards. I'm not going to do this one. 7. So it's a 7 to a 4. Come on, 7 to a 4. We can do this. Come on, succeed. We've got a -2, 7, 6, 5. That means we did collect the other clue. That will be the last action of our turn. And we have our one clue to our name, but now we can continue moving, thank goodness, because those enemies are going to start chasing us down. During that enemy phase, the moonbound Byakushis will both move to here. This one does not have hunted or a hunter, so it won't move. We'll each generate a resource then. We've got 4 here and 5 for Luke. Luke has a ton. Let's draw cards. We have Steadfast for Tony. And for Luke, we have Drawn to the Flame. Luke now has too many cards in hand. He can only have 5. So I'm going to discard this useless card here, the Astounding Revelation. We'll then drop a Doom here, and let's draw our 2 encounter cards. We have the Hunted by Corsairs. Yeah, we're just going to leave it. We will attach that here. That will mean we'll take 2 points of damage if I don't deal with him. And then the second card for Luke is the Ancient Evils, and I don't think we can deal with that one. I think we're going to have to spend 1 resource to play the Ward of Protection. So we'll go down to only having 5 resources instead of 6. Play it when an investigator at any location draws a non-weakness treachery card. Cancel that card's revelation, then take 1 horror. That'll put us up to 4 horror, but we're canceling that. I don't want to place additional doom. I think I'm going to run out of time if I do that. We've got to assume what we need to do is jump onto this ship. So we are now going to be able to move to the light side of the moon. So let's flip this over. We're bringing Luke across. This location has 2 clues. We can test our intellect or we can test our agility to attempt to hide among the ruins. For every 3 points you succeed by, you can reduce your alarm. Our alarm level is 3, so we're still doing okay. It is kind of tempting to claim both of those clue tokens to get 2 more victory points. Can we move here? The mysterious ship's captain cannot let you aboard until the pursuer moon beasts have retreated. You cannot enter the white ship while your alarm level is 5 or higher. So our alarm level is only 3. What do you say for action 2? We do Drawn to the Flame. Draw the top card of the encounter deck, then discover 2 clues at your location. I don't really know if this is worth it, but we have Deep Slumber. We're in such deep slumber. We'll put this into our threat area. Our maximum hand size has now been reduced by 6. We can only have 2 cards in hand. So at the end of our turn, we're going to have to discard one of these. Oh, that's hilarious. Was that worth it for 2 clues? I have no idea, but if this location needs clues, we've got clues up the wazoo. So that was action number 2, right? Action number 1 was to move here. Action 2 was to be drawn to the flame. Action 3, let's move to the white ship. It states here, after the white ship is revealed, put the set aside the captain story asset into play at the white ship. We have an action here that says, if each undefeated investigator is at the white ship, we can parlay. Test our willpower or our intellect, X, to convince the captain to set sail. X is the highest alarm level among the investigators, which is 3. If you succeed, advance the act. Any investigator at the white ship may activate this ability. Luke's turn is done, and of course, he's the one that probably can parlay the best. Tony will move 1, 2. Do we want to try that? I don't see anything here that would be a detriment if we fail this test, so let's go ahead and try it. We have our extra ammunition here. Let's spend it to add +1 to our intellect. So our intellect is 4. So we just need a 0 or a -1. Or a success token, elder sign. Let's see what we get. We get that. What is that symbol? That's only a -1, and we did not fail, so our alarm level does not need to increase. So that means we can advance the act. With advancing the act, though, we each take 2 more points of damage. That means Luke has 4 out of the 5 damage. He's almost dead. And we've got 6 damage on Tony out of his 9. That's because of this. Oh, we're cutting that real close. Hopefully this is actually the end. With your party safely aboard the white ship, you beseech its captain to leave the moon at once. You have no desire to stay in this perilous place any longer than you have to. Not yet, the captain replies with an amiable smile. You plead with him, but he raises a hand in a gesture of silence, peering out into the distance. You squint against the light from the sun, which hangs static in the dark sky. There, miles away, you spot the thing that drew the captain's eye. A bird with many wings and even more colors, its feathers bright and vivid. It perches on a ruined stone structure and preens itself. Then, just as your patience is beginning to wear thin, it launches itself into space, and the captain pulls up the ship's anchor. R1. As the white galley glides silently back toward the earth, its captain sings a soft, melodic shanty which the ship's oarmen repeat. You seem to know the language well despite having never heard it before. You ask after your course, but the bearded man does not reply other than to continue his harmonious song. You plead with him to aid you in your search for the unknown Kadath, believing it to be the utmost importance. You should not seek to disturb the gods, the man warns, his song interrupted. They are far greater than you or I. Do you not see the folly in your ambition? You beseech him once more, telling him you must bring back proof of the dreamlands and cannot return home without the aids of the gods. Would that be so dire a fate? Look around you. You do as the captain requests, and are met with a scene of such serene beauty that it leaves you breathless. The seas below glitter in the moonlight like an ocean of diamonds. Along the horizons you see crystalline coastlines, blissful countrysides, lush mountain vistas, and emerald green gardens. The air is crisp and cool as you descend below the clouds. You hear swells with the sweet fragrance of flowers from the nearby coast. Never in all your years in reality have you experienced a beauty so real. Maybe staying wouldn't be so bad. You've already spent weeks, no, months in this land. There have been hardships, yes, but could you really return to your mundane reality after everything you've seen and experienced in this wondrous land? Then, far to the north, you see it, looming just over the horizon, or perhaps beyond the dreams of Earth itself, a white peak atop which sits an azure beacon of refracted moonlight. The bearded man follows your gaze. So be it, he sighs. He changes course, following now behind a celestial bird whose plumage matches the vibrant sky. We sail to the abode of the gods themselves. In your campaign log, record the investigators traveled to the cold wastes. In your campaign log, record Randolph survived the voyage. Each investigator earns experience. Record 3 tally marks next to the evidence of Kadath. And then if you're playing as a 4-part, no, if you're playing the Dream Quest and the Web of Dreams as an interconnected 8-part campaign, and let's see, you have not yet played Scenario 3B, Point of No Return, we're going to proceed there. For victory points, we scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not too shabby. I also wanted to show my campaign sheet because I haven't shown it. I don't know why I wasn't showing it before, and it sure as heck made it hard to come back to this. So look at how much evidence of Kadath we have. 5, 10, 11, 12. That's a lot. We have all these different things. We have the travel to the cold waste, and Randall survived the voyage. Luke Robinson does have the 2 mental fatigue. We have no carryover. I'm going to now place 9 victory points there that we're going to use, and they will do the final quest, I think. Actually, no, they'll do the 7th out of the 8th quest, and then the final quest will be done by our other 2. Oh, I'm excited. This is going to be fun. So next, we'll move to our other 2 investigators, and we'll do the next scenario. So that means we'll use the B side of this. So that will be with Patrice and Joe. As always, thank you so much for watching. When you comment and like the video, it really makes me excited and pumped to keep going. So if you're willing, just let me know if you're enjoying this. I would really appreciate it. As always, thank you, and I'll catch you at the next stop.